Hi guys, I'm Ed.
And I'm Harry.
Welcome to our second ever Hog Off.
That's right, and this is a series where we debate hot new issues in the video gaming world.
At the moment, a new Sonic game, or rather two new Sonic games have been introduced to the world, and we are going to discuss them in a Hog Off.
So, San Diego Comic-Con has just finished in the USA, and with it comes the announcement of these two new Sonic games. One is called Sonic Mania, which is a 2D game in the style of the old sort of games, that's 1, 2, and 3. The other's called Sonic Project Adventure?
Can I get my opinion out the way right away and just say that both of these look eye-rollingly shit?
Oh god.
Nobody's asking people to make Sonic games anymore. They're all crap. Like, I used to love Sonic back in the day, and since then, they've done nothing good. Stop making games. Just move on to a different IP, please, for the love of fuck. Like, do we have to go through the list of bad Sonic games that outweigh the list of good ones?
Right, let's start, you know, they're not going to just stop making Sonic games.
They need to.
It's one of their biggest IPs, and it would be silly to stop making it.
It wouldn't.
What this game is, I'm talking about Sonic Mania here, fuck the other one, whatever that's called.
Sonic Project 2017.
Project something? Project?
Just Sonic Project, I think it was called, wasn't it?
Sonic Project.
Either way, a new 3D looking Sonic game coming out next year, which, as Harry's just dismissed it looks shit. Go on about Sonic Mania.
Alright, so Sonic Mania. So what this is, it's a 2D game styled after the original games on the Mega Drive. That's 1, 2, and 3. And I think this is brilliant. This is what the fans have been wanting for a long, long time. You know, we had this potential for Sonic 4 to be like that, but it did not live up to it because of the physics in it. What this game looks to be is a return to form by going back to its roots, and that's what fans want, and that's what we're finally going to get. I think that's great. They finally listen to our fans, what they want, and they're going to make that game for us.
But fans aren't the people to listen to. Fans never know what they want, and Sonic fans are the worst fans of any community, as is historically known.
That may be true. But fans who buy the games, and you've got to make games for your fans, otherwise you're going to let them down and disappoint them.
In 2016, I don't think you can make modern games that are 2D side-scrolling platformers, because I think that went along with the technology that had, you know, long since been surpassed. When Sonic and Mario and all that made the leap to 3D, it should have stayed there, and it shouldn't have gone back. Sonic is a good example of how they did that and made dreadful games. That doesn't mean Sonic doesn't translate well to 3D, it's just the mediums in which they chose to do those were shit. Let's not even get started on Sonic and the Black Knight. But things like Sonic, like that, at least, like, to its credit, at least they tried something different with that. They fucked it, but at least they tried it. Whereas in other games like Sonic Colors, what was that? No, Sonic Generations, what was that? Sonic Sonic Adventure, that was fine.
Yeah.
Sonic Adventure 2, less fine but playable. These were like 3D Sonic games that were fine. But 2D's been done, and you can't really add much. I know that they've got a couple of different Sonic techniques that you can do in this one, like the stop rolls. When you land, you can roll instead of just landing. But that's not enough, and you're not progressing by going backwards. You're just kind of going, well, we couldn't do better than we did back in the 80s, so here it is. Isn't that sign enough that you need to give up?
No, I mean, what the hell's wrong with that? I mean, that's great. I mean, if you've got a formula, stick to it. If it's a good game, people want to buy it, they want to play it, then do that. I mean,
it's stagnating it.
Going back to the 3D games, I take your point. I mean, it's not a series that translates well to third dimension. I mean, I feel like Sonic 06 was their big chance to prove that, and they rushed it, trying to get it out for this anniversary, and they fucked it. It was a terrible game, but you could see it had great potential. That said, all the recent 3D Sonic games, they just haven't. You're right, they're terrible. It's not a series that transitions well to the third dimension.
But like I said, it's not that it doesn't translate well, it's that whatever they've done to it has been shit so far. That doesn't mean that it doesn't have the potential to be a good one.
Alright, so fair play, so why not this new game? Why doesn't that have the potential?
Because that's not moving forward. That's literally going, I mean from day one.
3D game. So I mean, it's fine for you to hate the 2D game for that reason, but the 3D game.
They've tried time and time again. I just want them to stop and just go, guys, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. Let's make a new animated character. I just want them to do that. I'm bored of it.
But it's a franchise that makes them a lot of money. They're not just going to cast it away.
Ghostbusters, the new Ghostbusters movie is going to make a lot of money, and that's going to be shit hot. Like, the same things apply across the board.
It didn't. That bomb, it made 145 million at the moment on a 160 million budget, not counting advertising, which would be another 100 and something million. So technically
it's bombing.
Technically, yeah. As of time of filming, which is the 25th of July.
It's still earning millions, and that's what these Sonic games will do. And in the eyes of a studio, they go, well, that means it worked. That means it was great. It's like, no, money doesn't translate. There needs to, I'll tell you what there needs to be, and I said this about the Ghostbusters movie, not in a video. There needs to be, before you're allowed to sequelize something or carry on, there needs to be some kind of Metacritic quota that you have to meet before your game or film is allowed to have a sequel or reboot. And I think this is a good example. Like, sure, you've got the old school fans, probably like yourself, who did play these kind of original Sonic games when they came out, but that's boring. Just go and play an emulator of the original games to relive exactly what you wanted. This is just kind
that's the thing.
But
I'm tired of doing that. I'm tired of doing that. I mean, you know, the original Sonic games, 1, 2, 3, I think 1 and 2 come to phone, they're going to do the third one on phone. And that's great, because the series works very well on mobile, for example. And, you know, I love playing on that. Who's to say this new game wouldn't work well on mobile? And so why not, you know, recreate those old games and a new one in that series for a new generation, a new system.
Because if you're not going to remake something, at least make it an obvious remake. Whereas what they've barely done, maybe they've polished the graphics a bit, but it's literally like we've been transported back to 86 or whatever.
Well, see, this is interesting because I said Sonic 4 was their attempt at remaking this 2D style scrolling adventure, but with updated graphics. So it was like the style of the old Sonic games 1, 2, and 3. For a new generation, and it didn't work. The reason was because the physics were off, and that's why they fucked it, because they changed the way Sonic moved and how Sonic felt, and that's why no one enjoyed it, because, you know, when you play an old-style Sonic game, you want it to feel like an old-style Sonic game. So that game could have been a big success, I feel, had they maybe made those slight tweaks. But it still had all those things that we loved about those original games, like, you know, the progression through the levels to getting by Dr. Robotnik, and then the big boss at the end. I mean, that was fantastic. You know,
let me try and stretch this example to a different franchise. So if they remade Pokemon Red, Blue and Yellow in exactly the same, I don't mean like doing what Fire Red and Leaf Green did or even the DS remakes, I mean just a remake.
Yep.
Would you buy that?
Well, what's changed?
Nothing. They polished up the pixels a little bit.
Well, yeah.
Why?
Nostalgia. But
you could just go back and play the real nostalgia game that you literally played rather than going, this is not like what I remember. This is like a fake.
But I mean, that's kind of a non-point because I mean, how has the reboot changed it? I mean, if you're saying it's just a remake, a straight remake, how?
But isn't this new Sonic game just a remake of the old levels? That's just a side scroller with the old graphics with the levels from 1, 2, and 3.
I think it remains to be seen. I guess I'll have to wait for further updates to see what it is. But I'm excited. I think it'll be a good way of revitalising the franchise by bringing it back to its roots. I think that's what it needs. I mean, you said yourself, the franchise has lost its way.
You couldn't revitalise this franchise with a million volts to the brain. It wouldn't work. The series is dead. Sonic as a character is dead and is being flung around like a whore to any game or franchise that will take it. Like Mario and Sonic's a good example. They just kind of went...
Whores make money.
That's true.
And on that note, we'll leave the discussion there.
Yeah, if you guys disagree with either of our points, let us know in the comment section below. Which game are you excited for? Do you like the Sonic franchises? Are you bored of the Sonic franchises? We want to know what you think of Sonic, so let us know in the comment section.
And that's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Do subscribe and like the video if you haven't already, and stick around for more.
Take care, guys.
Bye, Z's.
Oh, hey there. Welcome to the end of the video. You look like you've had a long journey over the last 4 minutes. Click on this if you want to see more videos. This right here are some virtual reality videos. But if you click now... What's that, Harry?
I don't fucking know. Another playlist. Something else.
This is Pokemon.
What are you doing?
I don't know.
This is weird.
I'm talking to the audience. Click on this now. It's Pokemon Go. Play this and then you can see all the videos that we did on this particular topic.
How about a VR Sonic game?
That would be great. I'd probably play that.